Hey everybody, it's Sam with Wrestling Overtime, and just like we promised you, we are bringing you your WrestleMania Night 1 results in the quick and easy, down and dirty, nitty-gritty fashion of just the results, just the facts. And so I want to make sure that I get through this and get this up fairly fast, because I remember what it was like when I was a younger kid and my parents wouldn't pay for the pay-per-view, or most of my friends didn't either, and we just kind of sat up and waited for somebody to let us know what the results are, and so that's what we're doing with our results show. Now, tonight's kickoff show surprised us a little, and what they did was they had a match during the kickoff show, and I know a lot of you are saying, Sam, they normally have a kickoff match. Yes, but this one was unannounced. It was Drew Gulak versus Cesaro. And Cesaro hit Drew with a left uppercut and then did his airplane spin with no hands. You'll have to listen to the Raves and Rants review podcast to hear why. And Cesaro picked up the win. Our next match was Alexa Bliss and Nikki taking on the Kabuki Warriors for, obviously, the Women's Tag Team Championship. Alexa Bliss hit the Twisted Bliss on Kairi Sane for the championship win, so they take back their titles. And then we get Baron Corbin versus Elias. Elias grabbed Baron Corbin's tights for the win on a roll-up after Baron tried to use his feet on the ropes. So look for this to continue. Then we had Shayna Baszler versus Becky Lynch for the Raw Championship. Shayna actually ended up putting Becky Lynch in her clutch. And as Becky was fading and getting ready to go to sleep, she dropped down on the mat and rolled Shayna over quickly for the pin, and Becky retained her championship. Then we got Daniel Bryan with Drew Gulak by his side versus Sami Zayn with Shinsuke and Cesaro by his side for the Intercontinental title. Daniel Bryan controlled the whole match, but then at the very end, the tide turned and Sami hit his Illumina kick for the win, and he actually retained his Intercontinental title, even though I know most of you were picking Daniel Bryan. Then we had the triple threat ladder match for the tag team titles. Because Miz was out, it was a singles match. One person from each tag team. So it ended up being Kofi versus Jimmy Uso versus John Morrison. And after a long, kind of drawn-out match, and I will go into it more on our Raves and Review podcast, all three pulled down the hanger that contained the titles. And Jimmy and Kofi looked at each other and then proceeded on top of the ladder to headbutt John Morrison. And he took the belts with him as he fell down to the ring and actually retained the titles for Miz and Morrison. Then we got an awesome match with Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens. KO hit the stunner for the win. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, you need to look this one up. You definitely need to see this one. The highlights will not do. the highlights will be good, but you need to look this up. You need to see this one, or you need to hear it described in detail, because the things that happened during it and how it changed and everything, it was an awesome match and an awesome ending. Then we had R-Truth come up and talk to Mojo Rawley and Gronk up on the platform where they were hosting the show. Mojo became the new 24/7 champion. Then we got Braun Strowman going up against Goldberg. Braun countered with 3 power slams and then did a running power slam to pin Goldberg for the championship. That was not the main event, and it shouldn't have been a surprise because it was such a kind of squash match, and it only took 2 minutes and 13 seconds. I think if that would have ended night 1, I think it would have been a downer, no matter how many good matches came before that I'm going to tell you about in our Raves and Rants review podcast, which will be coming to you a little later. However, our main event tonight was unbelievable. It was AJ Styles versus The Undertaker, and I am just giving you the result. Again, this is another match that you need to see or hear broke down in detail because it was unbelievable. Maybe the best outside arena, no fans available match I've ever seen. Undertaker buried AJ Styles. And that was night 1 of WrestleMania. The Taker AJ Styles match just capped it off. It was a pretty good event, and definitely am looking forward to night 2. As always, you guys can tweet me or hit me up on Wrestling Overtime's Facebook page. Please write me at wrestlingovertime@gmail.com if you have any questions, comments, problems, or protests, and I will be talking to you soon in the next episode, which is going to contain the Rants and Raves review of WrestleMania Night 1. Talk to you guys soon.